Well, as this demolition drive began in Jahangirpuri in northwest Delhi this morning, the only opposition party that actually landed up at the spot was the CPIM and its leader Brinda Karat, who physically stood in front of a bulldozer to prevent it from moving forward. Dramatic pictures there as she was there on the ground to prevent these bulldozers from moving. Brinda Karat joining us now on NDTV today. Ms. Karat, thanks for joining us. What was going on when you went there this morning? Because you had a Supreme Court order which was very clear on one hand that these demolitions could not go ahead, and yet it took them a full 2 hours to actually stop it.
Exactly. That is exactly how things happen, Nidhi, because in the morning our lawyer, that is Mr. Surendranath, the senior counsel, who along with other senior lawyers had made a mention before the Chief Justice's bench. And the Chief Justice had given an order which was to maintain the status quo. And this was quite early in the morning, and our lawyer informed me of that. So I immediately went to Jahangirpuri because I thought by then the bulldozer would have definitely stopped, because it takes some time to reach Jahangirpuri, where it must have reached at about 11:45. And the bulldozers were just, they were just smashing everything down. So that was absolutely, it's bad enough that it happened in the first place, Nidhi. I spoke to so many of the people there, not a single person had received a notice. There was no due process. They didn't even give them enough time to remove their belongings in the shops. So these are basically sheds in front of their houses. And they just bulldozed everything, that also very selectively. So obviously we had to stop it. And after we did stop it, the senior officials came, including the special CP in charge of law and order in Delhi. I spoke to him. I showed him the instructions given by the lawyer based on the Supreme Court order this morning. And then he said, yes, well, we're going to stop it now. But it was already 2 hours late, and I said to him, look at the time now, it's 12:25. So you really disrespected the Supreme Court.
So there are two important sort of implications of this. One is what you just mentioned, which is when an institution like the Supreme Court's orders start being disregarded, that too by a municipal body. What is the messaging that goes out, according to you?
First of all, the demolitions were totally illegal. Secondly, the demolitions were motivated not to uphold the law, but to uphold a very sectarian communal agenda of the party in power, the Bharatiya Janata Party, whose leaders had already stated clearly that they were going to bring the bulldozer to Jahangirpuri. The third point is that it was very selective. I know Jahangirpuri, Nidhi. I have known Jahangirpuri for 40 years when I was a trade union worker in North Delhi. I know when this was a resettlement colony, when it was established. C Block has always been there. We've had units there. We know. They are Bengali-speaking Muslims who live in that area. And there has never been a single incident, not one, of communal violence. Not one in Jahangirpuri. It's never been an issue. And they are poor people. People in every block have small shops. Now, whether they are legal or illegal, they may well be illegal. We have to find out. But it's not only in one block, all through Jahangirpuri. Poor people, lower middle class people who don't have jobs, especially after pandemic, they are running these small shops outside their homes. So that was all demolished, but selectively. If it's illegal, then it's illegal for everyone, right? So it's not because it was legal or illegal. What it was a sectarian political agenda to bully, intimidate, bulldoze a citizen's right. If I'm encroacher, are you not going to give me an opportunity to even hear me? But they didn't give even a notice. I met a woman there today.
They're justifying the lack of notice by saying that, actually the mayor just told us in an interview that, these were temporary structures, so we didn't need to send them a notice, whereas the rules are clear. You have to send a notice. You have to give people a chance. to give their side of the story.
Absolutely true, absolutely correct. And I'm really quite surprised that officials of the MCD should be so innocent of the law and of the rules which govern all citizens of this country. I would say that, you know, that itself is an exposure enough of what I am saying, which is that this was not motivated by the legality or illegality. It was motivated by a sectarian communal agenda in Delhi. And unfortunately, this is really, I mean, you're not just bulldozing poor people's sheds. You're actually bulldozing the Constitution. You're bulldozing the rule of law. And in this case, if we had not gone to stop it, they were in any case bulldozing the Supreme Court's order. It's really contempt of court also in a way.
Ms. Karat, just a last question on the politics of this, which is important because politically it was you and your party that was there, front and center, trying to, meet with people when this happened. It is astounding actually that the rest of the opposition was missing. As a politician, what does that say to you about the state of the opposition in this country? Where was Arvind Kejriwal? Where was the Congress party? These are parties which all have actual stakes in Delhi. But, what does that say about opposition unity and, the opposition's agenda?
Nidhi, if you don't mind, I really don't want to answer that question because, I can only speak for ourselves. It was not just me, it was my party. As you know, I belong to the CPI. I am a communist. And that is our creed. We go where people suffer. We go where there's injustice. And so we went, not just me, many of my comrades, workers from surrounding industrial areas, women from different blocks in Jahangirpuri itself, who saw that this was injustice. They're not all Muslims, but they're just ordinary folk who know that this is not correct what is happening. And therefore, I went, my comrades went, and as far as the others are concerned, I really can't speak for them. All I can say is that whatever we can do to save the Constitution, to save democratic rights, to save the rights of individual citizens, we'll do whatever we can.
All right. Brinda Karat, thank you very much for joining us on NDTV this evening on what has been quite a dramatic day in Jahangirpuri. And let's see now what the Supreme Court actually does on this matter when it hears it tomorrow. Thank you.